Hello everybody, Terry Carl Joyedian here with Law 35. Get high with a little help from your friends from Dave Asprey's Game Changers. No, this is not about drugs. This is about oxytocin. It's about feeling good, and it is actually particularly about oxytocin, which is really fascinating to me. I was drawn into this law immediately, which tells me that I need to pay some extra attention personally to this one. This whole section is about community, your environment, the people that you're with, and how important it is to be face-to-face with people. I'm going to share quite a bit about oxytocin in here, and then as always, some of the suggested action items at the end. For this law, Dave Asprey interviews Dr. Zach, also known as Dr. Love by some. And he says when you interact with another person who you perceive to be trustworthy, your brain sends a hormonal sign that the relationship is safe and you should therefore proceed with it. The hormone is oxytocin. When you get a hit of oxytocin, you're motivated to continue interacting with the other person because it makes you feel good. It works against our built-in fear system, which warns you to be cautious and hide or run away from strangers. So the reason I like all my red flags or woohoo flags or some kind of flags are going off are I tend to be more of the wallflower type who walks in and scans the environment and is slow to warm up. So this sounds like he's talking to me. So I think I have some more to learn about oxytocin. What about you? It goes on to say, I don't know if this is Dr. Zach or Asprey, but for these parts, understanding oxytocin is important because a lot of good things can come from interacting with other humans. Everyone is a stranger to everyone else at first, but another person might become a friend, a professional collaborator, even a life mate. Whether or not you pursue a connection is largely determined by your body's chemical response to the individual. And he also says oxytocin amplifies empathy, which research has shown is only 10% hardwired, 90% a learnable skill. And he also talks briefly about mirror neurons and how that has been found to develop empathy, to be related to empathy and oxytocin. Dr. Zach has done experiments measuring oxytocin, working with tissues and blood and using oxytocin injections or nasal spray, and observed that an increase made people more generous and trusting and less suspicious. It also made them better able to read social cues. And he said once it's activated, it stays active for about 20 minutes, and during that time, the divide between you and others is narrowed, your ego recedes into the background, and you see more commonality than division between you and your fellow humans. This makes me think of some of the effects that some drugs can have on people as well. So again, oxytocin, that natural drug. What kind of communication will boost your oxytocin? Asprey says face-to-face communication stimulates the greatest oxytocin release. Video conferencing is second best, then talking on the phone, then texting, and finally social posting. So for those of us who love being on the internet, great, just keep in mind it's not boosting your oxytocin, so you may need to boost those other areas. He says he's a tech guy, but he still values face-to-face interactions. Also, oxytocin reduces your stress response and boosts your happiness. And social interaction is an incredibly simple way to get a quick hit of oxytocin. Dr. Zach says if you're feeling stressed, isolated, or depressed, to reach out to someone that you trust, that you care about, and say, I'm having a bad day, I could use a little extra love right now. Pretty cool. And Dave Asprey mentions where he lives, that he says on an organic farm on an island in a rural area, which has a lot of benefits, but he doesn't get to connect with people so much unless he hops on a plane. So he makes it a priority for him to make sure that he does get time to do so, because when he doesn't, his performance goes down, his happiness goes down. So he says connection is not optional, it is essential. So this was a really eye-opening chapter for me. I feel like I don't even remember reading it, so definitely gonna come back to this video. Here are his suggestions. Shake less, hug more. Physical contact stimulates oxytocin release. Another kind of flag from me, because in reports that I've had, intuitive reports, they've really talked about the importance of touch for me personally, going both ways. And schedule a massage to raise your oxytocin. I like that suggestion. Also, finally, video conferencing instead of calling if you can, and taking the time to meet face-to-face when you can. A lot of great suggestions in here. I'm interested to know which ones you're going to try out. Please share in the comments below. If you liked this video, please like it. If you're not catching these videos, please subscribe so that you do, and you can see all the laws in this playlist. If you've missed any, go back and check them out. And we'll see you again for the next law. Much love and many blessings to you all. Bye now.